Question 1, factorizing. We're putting back into the brackets. We're looking for a common factor of 5 and 25. The highest common factor there is going to be 5. Outside the bracket, inside the bracket, to get to 25x, we've got 5x. To get to minus 35, minus 7. Don't really need any working out for that. Just that on its own will do. 6 is the highest common factor here. 6 times by 3x gives you 18x, and 6 times by 1 gives you that 6. Question 3. If these are all multiplied together, I'm just going to use my index laws. A squared times by a squared will give me a to the power 4. And b times by b is going to give me b squared. A is the same as a to the power 1 times by a squared is going to give you a to the power 3. Then I've got b to the power 3 times by another b is going to give me b to the power 4. Okay. Next one, 79.2 divided by 4. If I'm dividing by a whole number, I can just use a bus stop method and just be careful with my decimal point. 4 goes into 7 once. I've got 3 left over. 4 goes into 39 9 times. I've got 3 left over. 9 goes into 32 8 times. 19.8. 37 times 9. 9 times 7 is 63. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 3, plus the 6, 33. 333. Question 7. I need the lowest common multiple of 8 and 4 for my denominator, which in this case is going to be 8. If I've got 7 eighths, now 3 quarters, I'm going to use equivalent fractions. 4 I have to times by 2, so 3 I'm going to times by 2 gives me 6. So this is then going to be 13 eighths when I add it up. I then want you guys to write it as a mixed number. 8 goes into 13 once, and then I've got 5 left over, 1 and 5 eighths. 6 is the lowest common multiple of 3 and 6, so I'm going to use that. Need to use equivalent fractions. That's times by 2. Top's going to be times by 2. 4 sixths. Take away 1 sixth is 3 sixths, which is the same as a half. Question 9. Going up 10. Up 10. Up 10. So it's going to be 10n. How do I adjust to get to the next? Add 1. Up 5. Up 5. Up 5. So 5n. How do you adjust to 7? Plus 2. Okay, next question, question 11. 2.2 divided by 0.2. Write it as a fraction. It's going to make it well easier. 2.2 divided by 0.2. This fraction, this division symbol here just shows you the fraction, shows you how to write it. 2.2 divided by 0.2. Use equivalent fractions. It's the same as 22 divided by 2. If you just multiply the top and the bottom by 10, we can then work it out. We've not changed the value. Okay, we've just used equivalent fractions to be able to do the division. This one, I mean, I'm not even sure why that one's on there. It's a sort of weird question. 11 divided by 1, just 11. Question 13. Solving equations. This is one where, looking around, I think quite a few people struggle with this. So really careful showing you're working out. I can't work this out with x's on both sides. I need to get x's all on one side of the equation, numbers all on the other side. So at the moment I've got 2x on this side and 4x on this side. I want to get rid of the smaller one of those. That's going to be easiest for me. So I'm going to take away 2x from this side. But I need to keep it balanced, so I'm going to take away 2x from this side. So that gives me 4x take away 2x is 2x. The numbers stay the same, so 2x plus 4 equals 10. I'm then going to take away 4 from both sides, and that gives me 2x equals 6, and then divide both sides by 2. X is equal to 3. Question 14. There's two ways of doing this. I can either expand this out and then solve it, or I can see that this is 2 times by all this and just at the start divide both sides by 2. So that's going to give me 8x plus 5 over here and minus 11 here. We've got to be really careful with our negatives in this case. This is plus 5. 8x plus 5. To get rid of the plus 5 bit, so I got x's on one side, everything else on the other, I'm going to take away 5 from both sides. That gives me 8x equals minus 16. If I'm on minus 11 and I go down 5, I'm on minus 16. So then when I divide by 8, I've got x equals minus 2. Question 15. Divide 65 in the ratio 11 to 2. So I've got 13 parts there. Okay, now, so if I do 65 pounds divided by 13, it comes to exactly 5. That means that each part there must be 5 pounds in each part. So we've got 11 times 5, which is 55 pounds, and I got 2 times 5, which is 10 pounds, 55 to 10. Divide 32 in the ratio 1 to 3, that's 4 parts. So each part must be 32 divided by 4, which is 8 pounds each part. So I've got 8 pounds, 8 times 1, and 3 times 8, 24 pounds. Question 17. 61% is a fraction in its lowest form. 61 out of 100. Can't simplify it. 49 out of 100 is a percentage. 49%. It's already out of 100. Gradient. It's the coefficient of x, the number that x is being multiplied by. In this case, 0.5 or a half. Gradient of this one, make sure to include the sign. It's the coefficient of x, what x is being multiplied by. In this case, minus 2.